What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. So to start off with a little bit of a random sports dump. So Joel Embiid, 76er center, has been suspended for the next 3 games. His season debut is expected to be Tuesday against the New York Knicks. He was expected to make a season debut this week. Obviously, he's been hurt, or, I don't know, hurt / load management / doesn't want to play back-to-backs. That whole saga that's been going on with him. But he had an altercation with a reporter. So a columnist put out an article last week of, I guess Joel Embiid's brother passed away. I don't know how recent it was. And he mentioned that his late brother, Embiid's late brother in his column, is like his motivation or something. And he mentioned his son as well. And basically said something to the effect of, like, it's hard for him to, I guess, honor their legacies, his brother's legacy, if he's not going to play back-to-backs. So after the game, Embiid didn't play in it because he's been injured so far this season, play a game so far. But after the game, he went up to the reporter and basically said something like, you can say whatever you want as me as a player, call me a terrible player, say whatever you want, but do not ever bring up my family. And they went back and forth verbally, and eventually Embiid shoved the reporter. So he got 3-game suspension. I am with Embiid on this one. Usually I am not on his side with pretty much anything, but I am on his side on this one. I can't respect the columnist for bringing up his family. And look, the media is something that, as a professional athlete, you do have to deal with. There's freedom of the press in this country, obviously. But, there's also certain lines that you can't cross. Just doesn't matter what facets of life. And I do believe the columnist did that. And I was shocked the columnist didn't get at least something, even though he slapped on the rest. He's still able to cover the Sixers. I'm not sure if him and Embiid are going to talk or not, or how that's going to go. But I am on Embiid's side in this one. The columnist, you got to be better. Come on, don't do that. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Come on, like, what are you doing here? What are we doing here? Come on, you got to be better than that. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. Also, former Miami Marlins manager Skip Schumacher has been named a senior advisor in the Texas Rangers front office. Was manager of the year 2 years ago in 2023, 2 seasons ago. This year was fired after the season. I can't really blame him. That team fired the GM that put together the playoff team in 2023, and the person that hired him, and then, brought in the new GM for no reason. You trade Luis Arias for not a lot in like April, and the season was pretty much done by the 1st of May. But happy he's back in the game, and he's going to be an advisor with the Texas Rangers. I expect him to be back in someone's dugout very soon. A couple of trades in the NFL as well. Steelers made a pair of moves for the trade line. They got Mike Williams from the Jets for a 5th-round pick. This was a pretty solid trade for both sides. Williams hasn't had, obviously, the best year, obviously coming off a torn ACL. Last year only had 19 catches with the Chargers. We missed most of the season with the torn ACL. Only 12 catches for 106 yards this year. Obviously, the Jets have had a really rough year, obviously. The offense has been a lot more dysfunctional than originally expected. Aaron Rodgers obviously is not the same player. But this is probably a better spot for him. He goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Russell Wilson doesn't have a whole lot left, though. He's played, well enough in the last couple of games that he started, obviously. Come back from the injury, decided he also replaced Justin Fields. A little surprising. Didn't agree with the time, though. He has played well so far. He's now a Pittsburgh Steeler. They needed probably another receiver. George Pickens is very good. Other than that, the receiver room is kind of thin. It's, Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin there isn't a whole lot to go around there. So they pick up Mike Williams. That's a nice depth piece. They just get a 5th-round pick back. Free agent to be, you're out of the race. Get what you can for him. And then they also pick up Preston Smith from the Green Bay Packers for a 7th-round pick. This is a good move. Preston Smith hasn't had the best year so far, only 19 tackles, 2.5 sacks. He's getting a little bit older. He's been in the league for a while. This is his 10th year in the league, so he's been around for a while now. But he's a very good player. He's had at least 8 sacks each of the last 3 years with the Green Bay Packers. You've been in Green Bay for a while, and I guess Green Bay, they got a pretty deep front 7. he's underperforming. I believe his contract's coming up, so they flipped him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a good move for the Steelers. Get some help when it comes to the pass rush for TJ Watt. Now you have him, Alex Highsmith, Cam Hayward, and now you add Preston Smith. That's a really good looking pass rush for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Ravens make a move. They pick up Tre'Davious White from the Rams, corner. Not a whole lot of draft picks involved there. Rams get White in a 7th in 2027, up a 7th in 2026. So give up nothing for him. Look, Tre'Davious White, injuries have pretty much killed his career. He was first team All-Pro a few years ago with the Buffalo Bills. He's had a lot of injuries. Torn ACL a few years ago has really done him in. He has not played a whole lot the last 2 years. The Bills let him go after last season. The Rams scooped him up. Hasn't played a whole lot. Just 12 tackles this whole season. No interceptions this year. He has not played a whole lot. He is not near the same player. It's not a bad death piece for the Ravens, a team that seems to always have issues when it comes to injuries in their secondary. Marshall Lattimore, Marcus Peters, all those guys from recent have had a lot of injuries. So they gave up nothing for him, but I don't expect him to completely fix what's been a really rough Ravens secondary this year by any means. All right, so let's do game picks. College football, we're going to start with first. It's week 11 in college football playoff. First year to 12 teams, really taking shape. Going to be an exciting finish to the season. No important games Thursday and Friday this week, unfortunately. So it's just a Saturday slate. First game on the docket is Purdue against number 2, actually, Ohio State. Ohio State should easily win that one. Purdue's been really bad this year. They're usually not very good. Last year, we're a little bit better. We're slightly better last year, but have been awful this year. Ohio State should win that game, no problem. Number 4, Miami against Georgia Tech. I'm going to take Miami. Georgia Tech might be able to hang around for a little bit, but Miami should pull away in the end. That's my prediction for that. Cam Moore's been great, over 3,100 passing yards, 29 touchdowns against 6 interceptions. He's a Heisman candidate. Heisman should be Ashton Jenkins, the running back in Boise State. But Ward should probably be a finalist. Miami, they're 9-0. I think they improved to 10-0. Florida against number 5, Texas. Texas should win, no problem. And the Quinn Ewers has been a little bit up and down. He was playing when he gets hurt, which he didn't look right to come off the injury. The last game or two looked a lot better. Florida is not very good. They give me the Longhorns to get a win in that game. Number 3, Georgia against number 16, Ole Miss. Give me Georgia. I could see Ole Miss hanging in for a while. Georgia's a team that's been very susceptible to slow starts for a couple of years now. You see their game last week against Florida. They're actually down by a touchdown, I think, at the half. Then the second half, they completely turned it around, and you end up winning by a couple scores. So I could see this game being I could see Ole Miss even having like a 7 to 10 point lead at the half. But I do think Georgia will come with a win in this one. I like Jackson Dart. He's played very well this year, over 1,300 yards, 21 touchdowns against 3 interceptions. But Georgia should pick up the win in this one. Michigan's number 8, Indiana. Give me the Hoosiers. Michigan, obviously not the same team. They're not great this year. Indiana's been playing some really good football, 9-0. Shockingly in the top 10 this year. They've been playing really well. Rourke, their quarterback, over 2,200 yards, 19 touchdowns against only 3 interceptions. Indiana's been playing really well. That's a really well-coached team. Give me the Hoosiers to win that game. Number 17, Iowa State against Kansas. Give me Iowa State. Kansas isn't very good. The line's only at -3. I thought that'd be a little higher. Iowa State's been very good this year. 7-1, right now 17th in the country. An outside chance of maybe sneaking into the college football playoff. I doubt it, but it's possible. Kansas is not very good. Give me the Cyclones to win that game. Number 23, Clemson against Virginia Tech. I think Clemson comes up with this one. Tough loss last week. The college football playoff hopes took a big hit. They had won 6 in a row after that tough loss in week 1. They were sitting, right in that top 10 to 12 area for most of the season. Tough loss last week. They took a big hit, but I think they get past Virginia Tech in that one. Number 25, Army against North Texas. Give me Army. They should win that game. That should be a pretty good game. Should be a close game. Army's played really well, though. It was really cool to see. I think them and Navy were both ranked at the same time a couple of weeks ago for the first time since World War II. Army remains in their rankings. The new college football playoff, the first ever 12-team college football playoff rankings, they end up at 25th. I think they pick up a win in that one. Number 20, Colorado against Texas Tech. I think Colorado wins. Texas Tech did pick up a big win last week. That was a pretty big upset that you got last week. But Colorado's been playing well. Shedeur Sanders overall has played well. 25, almost 2,600 yards through the air. 21 touchdowns against 6 picks. 60 catches for 757 yards and 8 touchdowns for Travis Hunter, who obviously is a Heisman candidate. Give me the Buffaloes. So H1 my DM, but he's done a good job with that team this season. I think they pick up the win there. Maryland against number 1 Oregon. Oregon should cruise, no problem. They're playing out of their mind right now. That offense is really deep and really good. They are unstoppable. They should easily beat the Terps in that one. You have Mississippi State against number 7 Tennessee. Give me the Volunteers. Tennessee's overall played very well. You had that one really tough loss early in the year that you blew. Other than that, you've played well. That defense is really good. I don't think Mississippi State will get much offense going. Give me the Volunteers now. And Florida State against number 10 Notre Dame. Notre Dame should win, no problem. Look, Notre Dame every year, they come up short. Every year, it's like, oh, they're gonna. This is the year, they have a big run. You have a favorable schedule. Every year is like that one game that they lose. It's like, damn, how you lose that one? That may have already happened with NIU, but I don't trust Notre Dame as far as I can throw them. But Florida State is just horrendous. 1-8. Biggest failure of the season, in my opinion. Don't think Riley Leonard is all that great. But this is a team that runs the ball really well, plays some very good defense. Florida State's not going to be able to get much going. They're already on their backup quarterback. Give me the Fighting Irish. And what should be the game of the week, number 11 Alabama against number 15 LSU in a big rivalry game. I am going to take the Crimson Tide. I was tempted to take LSU in an upset, but Alabama's had their number for the most part over the years. LSU's been up and down. They've had a kind of an odd year. They've a couple of games that they win thinking, all right, they're probably not going to win, and they stole it. A couple of games you thought they should definitely win, and they've dropped them. Currently sitting at 15th, so just outside the country football playoff. There are 2 losses that could definitely get in. Alabama's right now sitting at also with 2 losses, of course, but I think Alabama sneaks by. Oklahoma against number 24 Missouri. I'm going to take Oklahoma in an upset. Missouri was playing really good football, but then that loss to A&M was really, really tough. So not super high on Missouri as I once was. I think Oklahoma, they're favored to win, so it's not really an upset. That being said, Missouri's ranked and they have a better record. They have 2 less losses, but I think Oklahoma pulls it off. If you want to even say pulls off an upset. Washington is number 6 Penn State. Give me Penn State. Look, they can beat the bad teams. They don't matter. When you play a good team, then that's when it gets dicey. But Washington isn't very good. Give me Penn State to win that one. Currently ranked 6th in the country. Nevada against number 12 Boise State. Boise State should win, no problem. I'm sure Ashton Jeanty will run wild. The dude has over 1,500 yards and 20 touchdowns through 8 games. That is just absolutely insane. That is beyond crazy. He's easily going to clear 2,000 yards this year. And he's got an outside shot, 30 freaking touchdowns. He'll definitely be the Heisman if you ask me. Give me Boise State, who right now is hanging by a thread, and they're the last team in the college football playoff. Good for them. Virginia against number 18 Pitt. Give me Pitt in that one. They win the ACC showdown in that one. Number 9 BYU against Utah. Give me BYU. Utah might hang around in that game. I could see that. But BYU's played very well this year. They're undefeated. They're in the top 10 right now. They've kind of shocked everybody. I think they continue this hot streak, and they pick up a win against Utah. Utah State against number 21 Washington State. Washington State's been a slightly pleasant surprise. Obviously, one of the 2 teams still in the Pac-12, technically. Overall, they've played well. Give me Washington State to knock off the Utah State, who just isn't very good. I'm sure no one's going to watch the game because it's on the CW network at 10:30 tonight, but Washington State should win that game, no problem. All right, NFL game picks, and then we'll close this thing out. Thursday Night Football tonight. Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Give me the Ravens in this one. Obviously, a big win over the Broncos last week. You absolutely trounced them. I could see this being a high-scoring game. Bengals can't stop anybody. Ravens defenses has struggled overall this year, but Lamar is playing great. He's once again an MVP candidate. Maybe pick up Tre'Davious White. Maybe they'll help a little bit. Give me the Ravens to outslug the Bengals. Into the Sunday slate, we have a game in Germany. Giants, Panthers. That's, yikes. That might be one of the worst games this league has ever seen. Not gonna lie. As for who I'm picking, holy hell. I'm gonna pick the Panthers in this one. Look, Bryce Young isn't very good. By the way, Chuba Hubbard has got a 4-year extension worth $33.2 million. That was a little odd. You just drafted Jonathan Brooks in the 3rd round. You just activated him up with the pup out. He's come up with 20 ACL. He might play in this game. He might not. Chuba's played very well. He's still young, but also paying running backs, at this point, it's going to unless they're really special, like a Christian McCaffrey or a Saquon Barkley or a Denver Kennedy, is there really a point? So that was kind of an odd move, I thought, by the Carolina Panthers. But, Carolina, look, they traded away Deontay Johnson, so the receiving core is very thin. I'm not sure if Adam Thielen's playing in that game. But that's like he's not playing that. Jalen Coker, I've known he existed until about 3 weeks ago, and Xavier Legette is the extent of the receiving core. But that Giants team is really bad. I like Tyrone Trace, so maybe he could have a big game because Carolina running defense is really, really bad. But the secondary for Carolina actually is pretty serviceable. Daniel Jones was really bad. I think Carolina wins a really, really, really ugly game. Patriots, Bears. I'm going to take the Bears. That Patriots team is just so bad. I like Drake May a lot, but he's still really young. He's playing really well, but they can't run the ball. That receiving core is just awful. The Bears are going to have a lot of pressure on Drake May. That defense is really good. Caleb's been struggling, and that team is as poorly coached as it gets. This could also be an ugly game, ugly slugfest. I think in a low-scoring game, Bears pull it out. Bills at the Colts. Give me the Bills. The Colts, I don't even know what to say about the Colts. They're so mediocre. Joe Flacco did not look very good last week. The guy's just old. The Anderson is just so bad. Just beyond bad. That defense for the Colts isn't great. I think the Bills will put up a lot of points on Indianapolis Colts. I'm sure Amari Cooper is getting very comfortable in that offense. Give me the Buffalo Bills in that one. Vikings, Jaguars, give me the Vikings. Jacksonville is very bad. Now it's looking like Trevor Lawrence is going to play with a shoulder injury. So their backup, I couldn't even tell you who the backup is, he's going to start. Vikings got to you snuck past the Colts last week. That they going to kind of trying to help right the ship. You're sitting at 6-2. That defense has played a lot better than expected this year. Give me the Minnesota Vikings in that one. Broncos, Chiefs, give me the Chiefs. There's no shot Denver goes into Kansas City and wins. Denver, they've picked up a few. They've been better than expected. They've also, had a pretty easy schedule. So they've gotten a couple layups, and you stole the game. You upset the Bucks earlier in the year. You stole the game against the Jets. But you just got trounced by Baltimore last week. I would Chiefs get to 9-0. Falcons, Saints. Give me the Falcons. That Saints team's a mess. I know Derek Carr's back, but his entire receiving core is out. Olave doubt's going to play with a concussion. He might not play for a while. He's out for the year. Bob Means on an injured reserve. So his best receiver is... I could not tell you who the number one receiver is. That team is really bad. They can't stop anybody. Just fire their coach. Darren Rizzi, I think, is their interim coach. I barely heard of him. Atlant's been playing well. They easily win that game. 49ers, Buccaneers. I'm not taking the Niners. It looks like Christian McCaffrey might be playing. That's a big guy I obviously get back for the 49ers. Best running back in the league to me when he's healthy. He's obviously a superstar. Bucks, that defense is very, very bad. There are a couple of guys out. And obviously, you have injuries to receiving core. Chris Godwin's out for the year. Jalen McMillan, I don't think is going to play. Mike Evans has missed the last couple of games. Not sure if he's going to come back or not in this game. So, give me the 49ers to get a win in that one. Steelers, Commanders. This should be a good game. So, you've had two surprising teams. The Steelers, how Pittsburgh is 6-2, I have no freaking idea. I mean, that defense is phenomenal, but the quarterback situation there, their run game is just okay. The receiving core really isn't great besides George Pickens. Maybe the tight end fire move. You've had injuries on the offensive line. Somehow you're 6-2. Kudos to Mike Tomlin having them at 6-2. And the Commanders have been one of the biggest surprises this season, 7-2. Jane Daniels has been phenomenal as a rookie. That defense has been better than expected. You pick up Marshawn Lattimore. Not sure if he'll play. He hasn't played the last 2 games with an injury. But he's still a very good corner. You give up the 3 draft picks to get him. Was it the 3rd, 5th, and the 6th, I think it was. I'm going to take the Commanders. They're playing really good football. This should be a very good game. It should be a really close game. I expect this to be an exciting one, but I think the Commanders sneak past the Pittsburgh Steelers. 405, Titans Chargers game. The Chargers, they're playing really well. That defense might be the best in the league. I believe they're the best scoring defense in the league right now. They are phenomenal. That Titans off, which is just god awful, is going to be so limited in this game. They're not going to be able to score a whole lot of points. That Titans defense is pretty good, but slightly lower scoring game. Chargers definitely get by. Jets Cardinals, give me Arizona. Cool. The Jets beat the Texans last week. Cool. Congratulations. I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. I have no confidence in this team. It's not even worth analyzing or ranting about them anymore. They just suck. Simple as that. I think Kyler has a good enough game, I guess. But give me Arizona. Eagles, Cowboys, give me Philly. That Dallas team is so bad. Now Dak is going to be out at least a month. He's got a torn hamstring. Injuries were even worse than I thought. CB Lamb will probably play, but still up in the air. They cannot run the ball. They cannot stop anybody. And no, freaking Jonathan Mingo and his 12 catches this year is not going to help. The Dallas team is very bad. I don't see a world where they make the playoffs. Philly wins, no problem. Sunday Night Football, Lions, Texans. This should be the game of the week, in my opinion. Game of Lions. Texans, they've been a little fraudulent this year. They have not taken as big of a jump we thought. CJ Stroud is struggling in this game. Nico Collins may or may not come back in this game. Alfie Diggs is out. Kenyon Green, your offensive guard, is now out for the year, so you got a bunch of injuries on the offensive side of the ball. Lions are just rolling right now. Hottest team in the league. To me, they have the best roster in the NFL. Jameson Williams is back from a suspension this week. You just picked up Zadarius Smith, who I assume will play in this game. The Texans line has really struggled lately. Now Kenyon Green's out. I think they'll get a lot of pressure on CJ Stroud. Give me the Detroit Lions in this one. And Monday Night Football, Dolphins, Rams. I'm going to take the Rams. That Dolphins team is not good. Tua, not sure why he's playing, to be honest. Mike McDaniel, that guy is such an overrated coach. It's not even funny. They need to get rid of him after the season. He's not good. Rams have won 3 in a row. They're playing good football. Obviously, you've gotten healthy, getting Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua back. And Puka Nacua was nicked up in practice the week ago. He's completely fine. Give me the Rams to win that one. That's all I got for you guys today. Until next time, so long, and have a great day.